One. It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. We are streaming, we are going to the theater, we're doing it all now. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
And who's that other guy? Oh, yeah, it's Murray. Hey there, Mur.
Yo.
All right, so with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Let's do that.
Yes. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and join the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/.
Coffee?
I thought they were buying a movie too.
buymeacoffee.com /Film Rage YYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members. And all members that sign up will get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot support a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. Shout out to our biggest listening state still, which is Missouri, and to our biggest listening province in Canada, which is Alberta. We thank y'all for being number one and our supporters this month. Go Bears and Yahoo!
I'm to Colorado.
They going bye-bye.
Oh, I like Colorado. Go Rams.
Well, now
Go
start
Rams.
cheering for Missouri.
I'm not. The Rams are in LA now.
Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Ordered concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinemas.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies. I don't know what that was, Jim, but we are streaming.
That's right. Oh, you guys are.
All right. So, we got to stream something on Shudder.
Dum dum.
Dum dum. Not dum dum. Dum dum.
Dum, dum.
Dum dum.
All right. So we saw Caveat from 2020. Caveat is the story of a drifter named Isaac who seems to be suffering from some sort of memory loss, who accepts a job to look after a woman in a house on an isolated island. This is the launch point for the movie. And just like Isaac, we are left with many questions. Isaac enters this endeavor a little confused, as do we. From there, any questions I may have had seem a little less important, as I am sucked into the atmosphere of this film through its use of lighting, music, and masterful set designs. The odd choices that Isaac seems to make give way to the terror of the situation. So much tension in every scene that is amplified with a score that comes in and out of the story, increasing its effectiveness when it is present. At its core, the story is quite basic, but the execution of turning it into a film is anything but basic. The house itself becomes a character in the film, as every room and corridor seems to have a personality that drips with dread. This is an example that in the right hands, a true artist can create a memorable and haunting experience through his vision and execution. Director Damian McCarthy is a true artist, and Caveat was Mondo.
Okay, well, we may have a fight here. First off, I love creepy toys. I don't think I would. I don't think I would have wore the vest that he was told to wear. I'm just saying. And there are a few things in this film
out of it.
that as you go through it, I'm kind of like, I don't know why our protagonist is going along with this so easily. It didn't make any sense.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because he's the whole central character of the film. There is probably about 3 things that made me question the whys in this film. The whole relationship with Barrett and Isaac, I felt wasn't developed enough at all for Isaac to be so subservient. Also, was it not thought out that the chain needs to be long enough for someone to go to the bathroom? After all, the person that was originally chained in there did live there. And when you learn there is a haunted painting, it's time to leave the house, dude. This is the first rule of evil paintings. When you find an evil painting in the house, you fucking leave. This film has such a slow build of creepified suspense. You know shit is going to build to a creepy level of fucked upness. Well, that's what I thought would happen. But then the build was not as great as I wanted. Plus, the underutilized, the creepy rabbit drummer doll, which could have been used way more often. There was a lot of this film that is great. I won't debate you on that, Mr. Bryce. I like the awkwardness to the character and the whole 5th level of the film added to the creep factor. Ultimately, I did not think they developed the relationships of the whole ghost thing enough, which I think might have helped this film a little bit more. I liked it a lot, but ultimately it was a meh for me.
What?
Yep. It was a meh.
No.
Yep. It was a meh.
Sometimes you watch a film and it's the sum of all its parts. And yeah, there's some stuff you said there that's maybe not necessarily not true. However,
did you just double negative me into a positive?
I double negative.
That was a double negative.
I think you double negative me into a positive.
Anyways.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I just wish it was like it had so much hope to be even more creepy and more gut-wrenching suspenseful. I just know that the how I felt watching the entire thing, none of it annoyed me like it annoyed you apparently. And the feeling I got and the camera shots and the dread that I felt and the fact that every set was fantastic. The sets were good. Yeah, they were really good. Yep.
And really that rabbit just drumming. That is, I don't think
we only got it twice. We only got it twice, and
we only needed it twice. You know what? You don't want to have so much of something that it becomes tedious.
I don't know. It just needed more. Enough. It needed more drumming.
You should always leave them wanting more, Jim.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted.
You know you've done your job.
I wanted more of the movie for me to like.
Damian McCarthy did his job well. This film was Mondo.
It was,
and Shudder hits another one out of the park. Love that.
Almost hits it out of the park. Almost hits it out of the park.
It's going. It's gone.
It's not quite gone. Okay, so I have to give a caveat. That caveat wasn't as much of a caveat as I was hoping it was going to be. So we got to go to the theaters.
Yay!
And I got to see something at CMC. I went and saw The Little Things, which is about 2 hours long. It's about the little things.
About 2 hours long.
It's about 2 hours. It was about 2 hours long.
Kern County Deputy Sheriff Joe Deacon is sent to Los Angeles for what should have been a quick evidence gathering assignment. Instead, he becomes embroiled in the search for a serial killer who's terrorizing the city.
I love it when you just read the IMDb.
Exactly. It's important. People need to know these things.
Put it in your own words, man.
I'm going to tell what happens in my own words right now.
All right,
so hashtag best restaurant name ever, Black Anus. First off, that was very nice.
How do you say?
Yeah, the light kept going out and it was spelling Black Anus, which
the local kids would throw rocks at the light and burn out the G would be gone. It was actually Black Angus, but it became Black.
There we go.
It became Black
that makes
Anus.
more sense.
Yes. You have to see the movie then, Mur, and then you just go pick
Yeah,
it up
maybe.
at Canyon Meadows this week sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm not sure Rami Malek's character was so genuine. Right off the bat, I'm kind of like, he or the character he's playing seemed a little out of place or overdone, or just seemed off and not in a quirky good way.
No,
However,
Malek for you.
Jared Leto, on the other hand, is a god. If
Really?
Denzel Washington was on the Mesmerized list, which he's not, Leto, with his first scene, just knocked him out with one line. Bam.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It was so brilliant. The most important thing we learned from this movie is that we don't trust anybody who eats roast beef. It will kill you. Ain't that right, my little vegan friend?
Yeah, whatever.
Sure. But you're actually making me angry right now.
Cows are good.
Stellar cast, but I was not a big fan of the interaction with the cops and Leto's character. I prefer to see a serial killer film with less cops and killers playing well together. Plus, the whole interaction with Malek and Leto's characters seemed pointless and stupid. First off, Malek would never have gone with him, and the whole interaction seemed like they were trying too hard to recreate the end of Seven again. I did not feel the suspense I was so desperately wanting to feel. The one thing I learned in all of this, other than don't eat roast beef or you could be dead, is the important ways to hide a body, which I kind of already knew. Music and score was forgettable. Movie was a little too long. The whole ghost thing with Denzel didn't really fit the story. Story was just okay. The ending was predictable, and the film is meh.
I shouldn't go see it then.
It's good to see the black anus. That was good.
That's okay.
So you can
I like my roast beef. Thank you very much.
That'll be over after 5 minutes, and you'll be able to leave. Actually, like 2 minutes probably.
Yeah, it's right near the beginning.
What you can do after you see this movie is you can go down the street to the Arby's and get yourself beef and cheddar.
Yeah, no.
And curly fries.
There you go. See?
And curly fries.
It's a perfect combo.
Mm-hmm. So The Little Things was a film worth watching for one reason and one reason only. It is definitely not for the unoriginal and way too familiar dated serial killer story. It is not for the over-the-top, swing for the fences, but ultimately strikeout performance of Jared Leto. It is also not for the strange mannerisms and odd delivery of lines that are now the staple of a Rami Malek performance. This film is worth watching for the performance of Denzel Washington.
There's only one left. You had to pick one of them.
And that is the only reason it is worth watching. Washington is a true master of his craft. Every glance, every pause, every movement is perfect. I am now convinced that I can watch him in anything, as his acting ability can lift even the most uninspired film to a place of respectability merely from his presence. Without Denzel, this movie would have been a hard rage, but alas, Denzel alone makes it. I am glad I got to watch Denzel Washington's performance. Man.
Wow, looks like we both came to the same conclusion.
Jared Leto, what the hell was that? No, he was awesome. He was awful in this.
No, he was great. The first line when he comes out, it was just so creepified. He played the role very well.
No,
I thought Denzel was just Denzel in every single one of his other characters. It was just like he could have been in any one of his other Denzel movies.
Denzel was perfect.
He's just Denzel.
And to say that Leto outacted him here is just crazy.
Oh yeah.
Leto was he was trying to steal the scenes and he was doing his quirky crap, but no.
And it worked.
No way. In no way. You put those two together, and you got to be high to think Leto is a better actor than Denzel Washington in any role. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
I wasn't high, but after seeing this movie, I kind of wish I was high because I did not think the movie was great.
It was some wasted potential. We agree on that. I mean, it could have been good.
It's funny how the things that we're disagreeing on is the
I thought you'd be going off on the fact that it's a period piece, and other than the fact that they had that case going on in the early 90s, there was no reason to have it as a period piece.
Nope. It did not need to be there.
This is the one time that I agree with you. Well, I thought I was going to agree with you, but then you never even brought it up.
Well, I kind of didn't care at that point.
Fair enough. Anyways, Denzel, so good. Jared.
Leto, even better. Okay. So we went from CMC over to Cineplex.
So 3 in one day.
Nah. He went on a separate day. I actually streamed little things about, I don't know, when it like 5 months ago or something.
Yeah, when it came out that way. But it came out on CMC, our sponsor.
That's
so
right, our sponsor.
All right. So we also saw in the theater, this time we both saw it, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. The Warrens are back to investigate another demonic possession in the 3rd or 4th, I don't know, maybe the 5th installment of The Conjuring. I guess if you include the Annabelle movies, this might be the 7th or 8th installment of the Warrens' wacky ghost adventures. Actually, wait a minute. Weren't the Warrens in The Nun as well? So this actually may be like the 9th movie involving the Warrens.
Isn't there a Nun too?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
And nobody kills them, apparently.
This time around, it is The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. At this point, I do not know if I'm reviewing the movie I just saw the other day or the 5 to 8 previous efforts from the Conjuring / Annabelle / Nun series. This has become one big mess of a story in my mind. None of these movies distinguish themselves from the others, and I'm convinced I could probably interchange a lot of the scenes randomly and would not miss a beat. These films are well enough acted and well enough shot. In the moment, I am not overly bored or annoyed. The film is just there, and then the film is no longer there as it quickly fades from my memory, never to return. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is just like its predecessors. It is a completely made, but instantly forgettable. I should say it's a competently made. I'm incompetent. It is competently made, but instantly forgettable. Meh.
And you gave it a little bit of a compliment. I don't know if it's much of a compliment when we got out of the theater, because you said it's probably the best one of the series.
Oh, it's the best one of the series as far as I could. And by the way, I forgot I said that because I got home and I was like, what was that? I don't even remember. I was having like flashbacks of, Conjuring 1 and Annabelle 3, and but like, what was it? I don't know. It's just a mess in my head.
Wait a minute, aren't they part of the Boy series too?
No, I don't think the Warrens are in the Boys. In the Boy.
No. Isn't that another? It's another doll.
I'm like they're not in the Boy.
Okay, well, it's kind of the Boy.
I am 80% sure they're not in the Boy.
Well, oh well. Okay, so it had some funny bits and it had some stupid bits. And it was a movie we saw in cinema. So it's a Mondo for that reason and for nothing
just
else.
Just because you saw it in the theater.
That's my review. The Devil Made Me Do It.
The Devil made you review it.
To give it a Mondo because we saw a movie in theaters.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm kidding.
And now
because this movie is because this was not a Mondo. Through the power of love, super psychic skills, and convenience, the Warrens again save the day. Ba, 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 ba. Exciting formulaic mystery-like plot with some biopic thrown in for good measures. I know we are talking about seeing Scoob, or at least we were joking about seeing Scoob, but this was actually the unanimated version of Scoob. And I'm thinking that maybe the Warrens was like Thelma and maybe Shaggy, kind of. It kind of felt a little bit like that. Well, I mean, it seemed like it was. Reich's Raggy. Everything was so obvious and nothing was really scary. Again, not sure why evidence at a crime scene these days in movies don't use proper police etiquette. Is this a thing now? Like, this seems like a habit that they're putting into movies every time we see it.
Wasn't that in the 80s though?
Well, still,
it was set in the 80s.
Still, they've had fingerprints since like well before the 80s, and they knew enough to wear gloves back then also.
Has so many cold cases, I guess.
You're just obsessed with gloves.
I'm just saying, this is a real thing. They don't want to leave evidence around. Okay, so speaking of details. Is Lorraine Warren's superpower like the Force? Bryce, what's with the Force adjacent powers that Lorraine seems to have?
They're convenience. It's all about convenience when it
true.
fits.
It's like, whoa, she's solving crimes. Oh, she has no clue. It's like, what? Like it's
Comes
not.
and goes.
Yeah, it's just like,
Exactly. It comes and goes. You can't control this stuff.
oh my God. I know I've seen the Warrens in some other movies, their whole Warrens universe thing with Annabelle and Friends, their whole truth of afterlife shtick could be so scary and entertaining, but they seem to just not get how or what scary is. I almost think they are too afraid themselves to really depict what happened if this actually did happen. Or maybe it's just, it isn't scary to begin with. Had some laughs at it and a couple of times with it, but mostly was wondering why it was a 2-hour movie. And the end was kind of random and a bit dumb. The evil witch person is working on her table and then she isn't there. And then she's popping in everywhere with everybody. I mean, come on, stay focused already. She's just like, okay, here she is, there she is, here she is, there she is. And then when they go to destroy, okay, I'm kind of spoiling it for people.
You did.
But they go to destroy the table, and then it's like she's not by her table, protecting it, because she knows that's. It was just dumb. It gets.
I don't even remember any of this.
Yeah, it's because you were in a coma.
Yeah, exactly.
I was watching it,
and it gets a meh only because we got to see it in cinemas. And I did have a favorite line. It's, I have chicken shit on my hands.
Yeah.
Right?
That was good.
That's the only reason to see that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you? Yeah, you saw it, didn't you?
Yeah. So here's the story. I paid to see this movie twice.
What?
I bought the ticket to see it with you guys on the Friday, and then right in the middle of the first movie we saw, which is Quiet Place, I got a text from my boss. Oh, you're working tonight. Like, oh, I guess I can't see the movie then. So I left after having paid for the ticket.
Oh, no.
So then yesterday, when I had a few hours to kill in the afternoon, I went to Chinook and paid to see it in IMAX. Why this movie is in IMAX, I have no idea. There's no special effects. Why the hell was it an IMAX screen? It was full price, I can tell you that. Cheap Tuesday was like a regular price day because it was IMAX. So yeah. Anyway, this is it was okay. I was bored pretty much through most of it, mostly because it wasn't so much creepy supernatural as it was like a crime drama. It was like, yeah, let's follow the clues and see who killed somebody.
It was like Scoob, right? It's like the unanimated version of Scoob.
It was like every detective story on TV that I've ever seen. It's like
she would have got away with it. It wasn't for those meddling Warrens.
Could have been Matlock there investigating for all I know. It was just, yeah, I wasn't really impressed by the story. I am a fan of Patrick Wilson, who's actually one of my favorite Wilsons, but he's not related to Owen and Luke. And I haven't seen the other Conjurings, but this film didn't really make me want to see any of them. So yeah, it was a meh for me.
If ever there was a potato, it's Patrick Wilson. That guy's just blank-faced all the time.
I like Patrick Wilson.
Hey, but more importantly, you know what that means. You know what it means. There we go. Now it's all complete.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to read the IMDb this time because Bryce will get upset. But we basically went and saw A Quiet Place 2, which is basically A Quiet Place 1, only with some different people in it.
Yeah, it continued the next day.
Yeah, kind of the next day. But really, it's the exact same plot. First off, the sound was awesome. I think that because they have perhaps a cast member that's deaf, they seem to both get both sound and lack thereof. Sequels. Too many people have been gushing about this film, saying the sequel is as good as the original. Well, to answer everybody's question and the curiosity, the answer is no. The first movie was fresh and original, and they killed a kid in the first 10 minutes. The ending of the first one was also pretty perfect. This one was a sequel. And I ask myself, whenever they make a sequel, did they need to make this? Is there a reason to make a sequel? And normally I say, no, there isn't a reason. And same thing for this one. They did not need to make it at all. If there is not an expansion on the plot, development, or mind-altering thing, then it just doesn't need to be made ever. This one is basically the exact same movie as the first one, almost exactly, with the same ending and everything. Also, why do we keep depicting the young kid in this, the young boy, as being stupid? It's like he may have anxieties that come out, but just make him trip on something. Don't make him go look around, because we know that's obvious that he's going to do something stupid when he leaves the cave and leaves his baby sibling. It just annoyed me. And then when someone has lights on the boat dock, surprise, there's people, and surprise, they are bad. Just like Killian's foreshadowing already warned us earlier in the film.
Of course they're evil.
Of course. There were a lot of good in this film, such as Emily Blunt, and Millicent Simmons. Anything she is in, I want to see. Even the other CLF, I liked him in the role, but the logic gaps and the fact it was basically the exact same movie brought this to a meh. I'm glad I saw it in cinema, but please do not make another one. John and Emily, please find a new film to make. I am done with this series. And that's it. It's a meh.
Murray?
Okay. So yeah, actually, the first movie we got to see in a theater in 6 months. So I was excited about that. Yeah. So this film starts off with a scene explaining the day the aliens landed and just started killing everybody. My question is, why wasn't this in the first film? Like, it sure would have made that film a little better. I did enjoy the carnage of this film, but these creatures appeared to have no other purpose except to kill things and make noise. They don't eat people. They don't seem to reproduce. They just kill people. Just kill, kill, kill. And yeah, not to give away the ending, but it reminded me of Signs. Intelligent creatures from another planet, and they're killed by a glass of water. That's all I'm saying. Definite meh.
Well, yeah, but Murray, you're not telling anybody that they don't already know. They already know how to kill these things because it was in the first one.
Just it was a stupid ending. It's like, really? That's how you killed them?
Well, we already knew that from the first one. It was no big surprise ending. Yeah, it was kind of like, we're just going to do the exact same thing twice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, Brycey.
All right. Well, this was an impossible task to follow up the fantastic first installment of A Quiet Place, as all the tension of the fear of the unknown is replaced with a more paint-by-numbers monster movie. That is not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes for a different experience. The Abbott family returns for this installment, and not unlike the first film, Millicent Simmons as Regan is the star of the show. The rarely seen on the big screen these days, Cillian Murphy is along for the ride this time around. It was good to see him. I enjoyed this, although I did not entirely get the physics of the final blow. There seemed to be a swinging motion and not a stabbing motion, but then the object was pulled out as if it was stabbed. For those of you who see the film, tell me if I missed something, as I definitely saw a swing and not a stab.
Yeah, he was kind of obsessed with that.
But I digress. Overall, this had no chance of duplicating the first. But without doing a direct comparison, this film on its own merit was a solid monster movie. It was a solid meh. If I'm comparing it to the other one, I'm probably getting a little angry.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with the meh.
Okay, there you go. That's good. But you know what that means again, huh?
I do.
That's the trifecta. So, you know what? We get out of the cinemas, or get back into the cinemas, and can't they release movies that are actually really good? Come on. Like, I've been saving on to some of these ones to think that, okay, people are going to be so excited because we've got The Conjuring 3 and A Quiet Place 2.
But they're
and
both
they hit us with
sequels.
sequels. Yeah,
Because they're not original.
exactly.
Our time's coming. We'll eventually bring some good ones out.
All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Well, I kind of already let the cat out of the bag a bit. But my rage this week is don't leave me 6 months without seeing a movie in theaters. And the best they have to offer me is 2 sequels. My hatred of sequels is already too huge as it is. And if you're going to come out with sequels, try and make them at least good or great so that it's worth waiting for. Yeah. My rage this week is sequels in general. I am too tired of them. Please stop doing them unless they're fantastic, which I think is an oxymoron because I don't think that's possible. Sequels are terrible for the most part, and just bring out original content. I was just about done after seeing these 2 back to back in theaters. I'm like, please stop doing it. That's my rage this week. I want to see original content.
And who can blame you?
Yeah, no kidding. I'm less upset by sequels as I am by remakes.
Yeah, remakes.
Those just they burn my bridges every time.
It's true. Those are almost twice as bad.
Let's take a classic movie everyone loves from the 70s or 80s and let's just recast it and make it completely different, but call it the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. It's not bad when they actually do remake it and it's great. Like the remake of Dawn of the Dead, which is the original is my favorite movie of all time. And Zach did a great job remaking it or rebooting it.
Oh, you mean
it's
Army
tough
of the Dead?
Because if you're no, Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, right, he did the first one. Yeah, the first, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough though. I mean, you're coming in because he definitely had a fresh take on it. And you're either going to get absolutely lambasted for, tinkering with the original, or Zach was one of the fortunate few that came in with something different and was actually praised for it. So it's hard. You better be awfully sure of your product before you put it out there. If you're going to remake something like that.
Yeah, true enough.
All right. All right, so my rage this week is pretty much the same as Jim's. But here's my thing. I'm okay with sequels, but if you're going to make a sequel, it should have been part of the plan from the beginning. It feels to me like Quiet Place got made. It made $1 zillion, and they're like, all right, let's get back in there and let's come up with something. So they came up with something, they threw it on the screen, and it pales in comparison. If you're going to have sequels, it had to be something that you're like, okay, this is the first movie. It's going to lead into the second. It's going to lead into the third. I've got this planned for 3 movies out. Go ahead. But if you're just capitalizing on the success of the first one and you had no plan going in, you're going to fall flat on your face every single time. Yeah. That is my rage.
Yeah. And you know what? It's, think about it from if you get like a trilogy book, like a book that's a trilogy, right? And I know because, you're such a big fan of Twilight series. That's a perfectly good example. It's like, it's the trilogy. So not that I'm saying that it was a good trilogy, but I'm saying that at least it was thought out. They knew what they were doing in all 4 of the movies that were 3 books.
Yeah, I'm going to forever be known as the Twilight fanboy just because of this podcast.
Exactly. And And on top of that,
At this point, I can't even backtrack. I just got to go straight ahead and go, yeah, Twilight is the best.
Everybody's got a weakness. Everybody's
Vampires
got a
playing
weakness.
baseball.
So Murray, Murray, you just have to remember this.
Yeah.
That whenever you feel upset because Bryce and I don't like one of your movies, you just have to remember that Bryce loved Twilight.
So good.
So
Rage subsiding. Anger fading.
I love the smell of movies in the morning.
There's no feeling in podcasts. There's no feeling in podcasts.
This podcast will be quite operational when your friends subscribe.
Feels. Real feels.
Not the feels. Not the feels.
Out of all the podcasts I've encountered, Real Feels was the most human.
Hey, it's true.
And Nathan.
And Jack.
Hey, guys, we're the Real Feels Podcast. We come to you every other Wednesday with a brand new movie of a different genre every single time. So make sure to catch us on iTunes, Podbean, and any other podcatcher out there. You're the realest.
And the feelist. Come to yeehaw.
All right.
Well then,
You got something for us there, Mur?
do I got something? My
bag of tricks.
my minute. Well, I wasn't going to do it, but I guess we got time. Mine's real short. Has to do a little bit with what we're talking about.
It is the Murman Minute, so
It'll
go
be
for
barely that. Yeah. Well, this week it's about all this streaming nonsense. 'Cause you know how much I love streaming, and for 6 months I had no choice. But now the theaters are open, I went to 4 movies this week,
Hot damn.
including ones that have been out for a while, just because I want to be in a movie theater again.
and you bought tickets for 5 movies.
That's right. So I spent like $100 on movies this week, and it was worth every penny. Okay, this week I'm taking aim at the ridiculousness of streaming services. To be fair, Netflix and Shudder get a pass. Netflix offers downloadable content to watch offline, like when you have no internet or Wi-Fi. And in my line of work, that is very helpful. Shudder is like $50 a year for a subscription, and everything on their website you can watch. There's no hidden fees, no extra paying to watch anything. Biggest offender of the price gouging is Disney Plus. During the pandemic, when movie theaters were closed, people had no choice but to watch movies online. Recently, the movie Cruella was on their streaming service. In addition to paying the $15 a month or whatever it was you pay for their service, they charged $35 to stream that movie.
only.
Only $35. I've seen movies in IMAX, 3D, and AVX combined that wasn't that much. And yeah, but they got you, so you can charge whatever they want. Evil corporation, all right. And it's run by a rat. Cable companies don't escape scrutiny either. In January, I paid $30 to my cable company for the privilege of watching Wonder Woman 1984. Talk about a waste of money. And they do this on a regular basis. Most of their video on-demand movies are around $5, but some can be up to $30 for new releases. Sadly, this started years ago with the TV network. CBS had what they called CBS All Access. When they came out with it, they had a new show, Star Trek Discovery, and it was only available on their All Access streaming in the US. Thankfully, in Canada, we actually had our space network to actually watch it. But yeah, Americans had to buy their damn service. And now, of course, they have the Paramount network. And their favorite trick is to take a show that has been airing on a main network channel and move it to their streaming service where you have to subscribe to watch it. Remember the Orville? It was Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek spoof, and it was actually very well done. Now it's been pulled and moved to the Hulu service. This is only the beginning now that every US network now has an online streaming service that they charge for. Now the movie theaters are open again, this is where I get off the streaming bandwagon. That's my rage for this week.
Nice.
You don't normally have a rage. You usually just
I
have
don't, but
a fun-loving Merman Minute.
most of the time I am.
Well, I can't argue with that. I don't like the fact I spent $35 for Cruella as well. But I think the way they're thinking about it is that they're saying, okay, you guys can watch Cruella with each other in your place
Yeah,
when you
but
can't
have more.
when
Unless
you're
you have,
socially isolated.
if you have more than like 4 people in your family, you can't even gather. It's stupid.
Yeah, I think they knew that.
Of course they do.
That's how Cruella made its
That's
$200
why
million.
HBO Max is the same thing. Every movie that gets released this year is going to be released on demand at the same time for $30. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
Anyway.
good thing we're going to theaters again. That's all I
That's
can
right.
say. Okay, so we got to catch up on Emma Thompson, I think.
I don't even remember what did you put her forward as?
I put her down as doubted.
I think she's undoubted now.
Yeah, she's not going to be doubted.
Oh, I don't know about that. We have to go back. Now you were taking notes here, so get your little notes out because
Was I?
Yeah, you were.
Taking notes.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you were. And I actually went back and watched a couple other movies.
Oh, Mr. Potato, what are you doing?
Yeah. So the movie we had to see, which was the Children Act.
Yeah.
It was a meh.
Yeah, I guess it was a meh.
That's right.
I liked it.
So what did that mean? You took the notes.
Okay,
so what did we have?
What do we got? Cruella meh, Doolittle rage, Last Christmas meh, How to Build a Girl don't know, Men in Black International rage, Late Night meh, Johnny English rage, Children of Men meh. Oh crap. So that means I have to watch How to Build a Girl, or you do, or both of us do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me because you think everything's a rage, or I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think we can assume that it's a rage, but where are we at with? She's got King Lear too.
Why do I got King Lear scratched off?
I don't know. Maybe because you didn't want to pretend that it existed.
No, I think it's not. I think it's like a TV thing or something, isn't it?
I don't know. Oh, it's a TV movie. You're right. Yep.
Man, I don't know why he. Anyways.
Yeah, well, that's why. So I think we have to see. Well,
Children's Act.
Let's go
really
back.
Good.
What's that?
It's a Children's Act was really good.
No, it was a meh.
It was good.
It was a meh.
It was.
It was a meh.
It wasn't a Mondo, obviously. So
no, it was not a Mondo. It was a meh. So,
right.
Wait a minute. So what was the one before it? Late Night was a meh. Johnny English was a rage. King Lear is made for TV movie. So we now have to watch. We gotta go see
something. Rage meh.
So I think we need to see the Mayor Owitz stories. Although that seems like it's a short.
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, it's not. It is not part of this. The only one that I haven't seen in her last 8 is How to Build a Girl.
So you've seen the Mayor.
You're talking about stuff that are shorts and TV movies, and do some research before you start opening up your trap.
I'm looking at this right now.
You're looking at it. You're like, okay, and what is it actually?
It's a movie with a bunch of stories in it.
Is it?
It's what it says. It's a comedy drama. The Mayor Owitz stories, new and selected. It doesn't say it's shorts. It doesn't say it's a made-for-TV movie.
That's with. Oh no. That's with like Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yeah, it's got everybody. Adam Sandler,
and Adam
Grace
Sandler.
Van Patten. Yes.
Is that in her last 8?
I don't know. Count them out.
Oh, for crying out loud!
You're the one that's writing these down.
Is it before Children's Act? Because that's 8 back, according to what I've got. Yes.
Okay. Well, then Children's Act, we don't have to go that far. Good thing, because that movie was a Mondo.
It was a Mondo. Exactly. That's why I'm like, she's off. Excellent. I didn't realize. Why are you doing it to me?
Well, because you were supposed to write everything down, and you apparently didn't.
I did. And now you're bringing up movies that aren't on the list.
Okay. So we do have to see How to Build a Girl.
Oh, my God. Dealing with you is just beyond me. Why do I do it?
I love it. actually. It kind of makes my day.
I thought rage was subsiding.
It's not. So
No.
that How to Build a Girl has to be, if it's a meh, she's off.
Right. It all just comes down to How to Build a Girl, which I didn't even know existed. So at some point I got to watch How to Build a Girl, and if it's meh, she's off.
Yeah.
If the rage, then she is doubted.
Yes. I also have to see it. Although I kind of just want you to see it because Last Christmas, I'm sure, is a rage. Why you gave it a meh is beyond me.
It was good. It's a good Christmas movie.
Christmas movies are automatically a rage unless there's murder and mayhem involved.
I think Murray would really like it.
Last Christmas?
Yeah.
Does it have that song?
I hate the song, so I don't know how I'd like the actual movie.
Last Christmas,
I don't know if I wanted to see what's her name singing. Khaleesi.
Sure, why not?
Who?
Someone tells me she can't sing.
Okay, well, let's see if we can see How to Build a Girl somewhere.
You do that.
It might be an Amazon original.
Never know.
So I was going to bring forward Denzel Washington as Mesmerized, but now you're telling me that Jared Leto is more mesmerizing in that movie. So I guess it's a no-go because there's no way. Because I could bring him forward. You could bring Jared Leto forward. And guess what? We both kiboshed each other's. Because then they'd have to have an instant mesmerized off, and Jared Leto gets left in the dust. But apparently, you don't feel that way because you watched it through some strange eyes.
No, they were accurate eyes. They're the same eyes that didn't like Twilight. So the exact same eyes that didn't like Twilight. No, I don't find Denzel Washington mesmerizing. I find him a good, solid actor, just like I would what's her face. The Academy Award winning actress that took down so many of our favorites. You know, her.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, that's the one. He's like the Meryl Streep of actors. He's just a solid actor. He does his job, but it's usually the same job. I don't find him mesmerizing. I'm sorry. Well, I don't. So it's just the way it is. So you got something else?
No.
That was it? All you had was that?
I had on that. I was like, okay, this is a slam dunk. I'll get Denzel Washington on Mesmerized.
Well, I guess I won't be able to bring Jared Leto forward either then.
No, that's what I'm saying. We just kiboshed each other's because, as I say, if we both brought him forward, it's an instant mesmerized off, and we completely disagree. So I guess if we would have agreed that they were mesmerized and we disagreed on that, they actually both would have been on.
Stayed on.
That's how it worked.
Yeah.
However, we don't agree because after that, like, he's just so over the top. It's almost annoying now.
I loved it. Okay, so I actually thought of one. I'm not sure if Murray brought one up, but I'm bringing forward Paul Walter Hauser.
Yep. Done. On. Love the guy. Every time I see him, I'm like, I literally see him in a movie, and before he says anything, I'm already smiling.
I know, right?
No idea.
Because I just saw him in that Emma Thompson movie, and he was awesome in that one too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a slam dunk. Murray, if you don't know, hopefully you never go and look him up because.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be a no for me. But
he was in Eat Wheaties. He was the lawyer in Eat Wheaties.
Yeah, he was the lawyer in Eat Wheaties.
The fat guy.
Yeah, the fat guy.
Oh yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
And some would say he's mesmerized.
Yes. Yeah. That's awesome. That's the best. Okay, I have one more mesmerizing. And I don't know if everybody believes me, but it's because I saw him in a movie this last week. Is Clive Owen.
I love Clive Owen.
So do I.
Love him and everything.
No.
Mesmerizing though.
I find him mesmerizing.
I do too.
He's so gorgeous that you can't not look away. He's mesmerizing because he's so gorgeous.
No, he's not mesmerizing.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh well.
He's a solid hand.
You're just old and bitter.
I'm not.
He's just mad because I wouldn't let Denzel get on.
That's right.
This isn't retaliation. That's not how this
I
works.
see. It's because Denzel and Clive are in a movie together, and you hold a prejudice against them.
Yeah.
So there,
Oh yeah, they would be in it.
they were in an awesome movie together.
Yeah. Was that
Inside Man.
Inside Man? Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn
Was
right.
it awesome?
I think it was.
That was pretty good. I
It was
like
all
Jodie
right.
Foster is in it too. Anyway,
the
Jodie-
mesmerizing Jodie Foster.
I remember Jodie Foster in that Jodie Foster movie, and she was great.
Yeah, the
Foster
Jodie
movie.
the Jodie Foster movie with
The
the
Jodie
serial
Foster
killer
story.
If you know the one I'm talking about, Jodie Foster in that Jodie Foster movie.
guy. Yeah, Little Darlings.
Yeah,
Little
sure.
Darlings, right?
Fantastic.
Sure.
You're talking Little Darlings, right?
Yeah, sure.
At any rate,
Yeah. TikTok.
I miss Little Darlings. They should have made a sequel to that.
am I doing this?
Well, up to you. I can read it if you want.
Doesn't matter to me.
All right, let me shoot then. Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim chose to press his bad luck and pull from the dare bag. Inside the dare bag, as you all know, is a magical, joyful world where dreams are made and all puppies and kittens play cutely together all day long. I'm sure the kisses of those puppies and kittens were like the sweet lips of sweet lips of angels brushing on Jim's cheek as he watched the 2016 film Independence Day Resurgence. This week, Jim and Bryce will get to cuddle more cuties and we pull from the dare bag together. Let's check with Jim to see if the angels or maybe the devils that gave him comfort as he watched this sci-fi action sequel.
Okay, so right off the bat, it's a sequel. So, and I actually didn't see this when it first came out because I had fear that this movie was going to be completely terrible. And I was not wrong. This was everything, it had everything that I thought it would be. A sequel, some stupid science stuff, awful film introducing characters we have forgotten about years ago, telling a story nobody wanted and everyone could predict before it even came out. Plus the fact that the movie is dumb. Every line was idiotic and was based on nostalgia for a movie that literally nobody remembered and just basically telling the exact same film, but with kids of people they couldn't afford to pay the parent character for.
In the first one.
I hated everything about this already from 9 minutes into the film. I was in sheer pain. Yeah, I wanted to go back in time and never choose to pick from the dare bag. Nothing Bryce could have picked for me would even come close to this film. This has everything I hate about blockbusters, sequels, and ensemble films. Jeff Goldblum, not even Jeff Goldblum of Thor Ragnarok, the masterpiece, could wipe this giant stinker of a film out of my mind. This time, the aliens are smarter, their ship is bigger, and the movie is stupider. Favorite line, did you piss your pants? And that may be the only line that did not make me want to throw up. And I know what you're thinking. Jim, did you find one good line in this entire movie? How could it have been your favorite? The answer is yes. I know, but this was the only line that made me laugh at how stupid the dialogue was. No one who made this film should be allowed to make movies ever again. It's that embarrassing. But the CGI was also terrific. And by terrific, I mean awful. So that makes it okay, right? Because it's funny. Because it's bad. It had a couple of woes, though. Whoa. There were lots of explosions, man. And whoa, Mama Alien looked like Mama Alien from Alien. Even their alien could not be original. This was a terrible stink pile of rage that I feared my entire life to have to watch, and then I just did. It was awful.
All right.
So
that was from the Rage Bag, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was the dare bag. It was the dare bag. It was the Rage Bag is your bag.
Dare
yeah,
bag.
It was the dare bag. But this week we get to choose from the dare bag, you and me, or we can pull from Murray's bag again.
I mean, the bucket of rage.
Yeah, the bucket of rage.
I don't know. You choose.
We'll just pick for the dare bag this week. There's got to be a good one in there somewhere.
It's nothing but good ones for me for the most part. There's been a couple stinkers, but overall, dare bag from the audience. Let's see what we get. I have one.
Cellular sensation. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
All right. It's Death Note from 2007. I don't even know what that is.
Isn't that animated?
Death Note is animated?
I think so.
Then why did you put it in here, Jim?
I don't remember.
But
From
it was from our
2017 or 2007?
7.
There's a Death Note from 2017.
Well, this says 2007. Is there no
2006. 2006.
2006?
It looks animated to me. It's on Netflix.
Okay, animated, gone. Next.
Gone. Yep.
All right, take 2. Oh, no. I would prefer not to watch this.
Okay.
Well, too bad. Somebody dared you to.
Let's have
Is
it.
it Top Gun?
Is it Top Gun 2?
No, it's not that bad.
Awesome.
It's perfect. Oh God.
You'll love it.
Pitch.
Perfect.
You'll love
I think there are some sequels to this too.
There was a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So after I watch this, I might want to watch
That's right.
the whole trilogy.
And
You
Rebel
probably
Wilson
will.
is in all of them.
Yep.
Who's in it?
Rebel
Wilson.
Wilson.
Rebel Wilson.
You
Oh,
know,
that's the blonde chick.
One
Yeah.
of the fantastic actors from the movie Cats.
Is she in that? Yeah. Well, she's skinny now, so good on her. But still not
Nice.
funny. Anyway.
Nice. Well, tune in next week to see if we survive more
That's
Rebel
right.
Wilson. Well, thanks again, Ragers, for listening. Rage love to Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, and James, our 2 member subscribers. Thanks to our extended Film Rage group, Leonard Collin for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Collin Photography, Rebecca Goose for her cartooning skills at Potato Lady Podcast Reviews.com. Thanks to our sponsor, Canyon Meadow Cinema. Please go and support your local independent cinemas near you as they desperately need your help. Find us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageYYC.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for our listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, please. Rage on.
Rage on.